hour ago.
However, at this hour, school board members are meeting with the state mediator and Mayor George Latimer trying to hammer out a last-minute miracle agreement.
The big stumbling block in reaching an agreement is money. The district in its latest offer is proposing a 15.6% increase in salary over the next 2 years. The teachers turned that offer down, and they're asking for just over 18% over the next 2 years.
Kare11's Dennis Stoffer has been covering the final hours of negotiation.
He joins us now from the school board administration building with the latest. Dennis, did Mayor Latimer, was he ever able to get both sides together on this?
Not yet, Paul. He's talked to both sides, but he hasn't brought them together despite his noble efforts so far tonight. It all hasn't worked yet. Now, the situation, as we understand it, was summed up in a statement issued by Superintendent David Bennett a short time ago here at the building.
For students tomorrow in the St. Paul Public Schools, tomorrow is Wednesday, December 6th. It is a regular workday for all staff, and employees are expected to report for work.
So in effect, we have no students should be coming tomorrow, but all staff is still expected to show up for work. That despite the fact that there have been these talks throughout the evening, a last-ditch effort by Mayor Latimer. He's been meeting with the school board and Bennett, and along with the state mediator throughout the evening. That followed a meeting of about an hour with the union bargaining committee, and that followed a meeting with some 200 teachers at St. Paul's Harding High School this afternoon, a meeting Latimer requested to assure teachers of his good intentions.
I want to see what I can do to make it possible for you not to strike, but with some sense of honor and self-respect that you've got a settlement you can live with.
A number of students and parents were also at the meeting to show their support for striking teachers.
I, for one, will be on that picket line tomorrow. I've got 500 students that are going to be there, too. Anytime you need me, I'm there. I'll support the teachers all the way. Thank you.
Teachers made it clear they're still planning to strike, but they welcomed Latimer's efforts.
I would welcome your intervention. First.
Now, I'm in the room where the school board normally holds its meetings. Right now, they're about 4 floors above me, still talking. Now, they issued that statement tonight about the status of school tomorrow to end any confusion about who should be where and when. But there still remains the possibility that something could change in the negotiations yet tonight. No one's gone home yet. Paul, Pat?
Well, that's not likely to change the situation for tomorrow, I assume, right?
I'm sorry, you broke up.
That's
Paul.
not likely to change the situation for tomorrow, however.
No, that's why they issued the statement, so that people will know where to be, but we'll have to stand by to find out if there will be any break in the negotiations themselves.
At this point, Dennis, have they talked about substitute teachers at all?
There has been no talk of that. There is apparently no plan to do that.
All right, thank you, Dennis. Well, if in fact there is a strike, it will affect nearly 40,000 people directly and many more indirectly. The school district employs about 2,600 teachers and does not plan to replace them with substitutes. Also, 3,000 staff workers may be temporarily laid off if there is an extended strike, and more than 33,000 students will start an unscheduled vacation tomorrow morning. The strike means different things to different students. As Kare11's Melissa Young reports, for some, the time off will be an unwelcome vacation.
All right, hands in, gentlemen. Let's go. Let's go.
It's only the second game of the season for the Como Park High Cougars, but already they're worried. Not about their chances of winning, just their chances of playing.
We might not even play until maybe January or February, and we don't know.
If St. Paul teachers strike, all athletics would be canceled indefinitely, leaving players like Tyrone Block wondering about the future.
I'm a senior this year, so, my hopes for a scholarship would probably be over then.
The team says they will continue to practice, strike or no strike, but they may have to do it without their coach, Brian Wold.
Yes, I'd like to be with them. I would prefer that, yeah. I have some very mixed emotions about leaving them right now. I don't want to do that, but we have no choice.
While a strike could interrupt the season for the Cougars and all St. Paul athletes, parents are also concerned about how it could interrupt families' lives.
I'll bet you $1 million.
These kids spend their after-school hours at Longfellow Elementary's Discovery Club. For the students, a strike would mean a longer vacation, but for their parents, it means scrambling for daycare alternatives.
Noon today was the first I'd heard of it, and we do have a contingency in that I'm able to stay home with her for the next couple of days. Beyond that, I don't know.
Other parents are planning to use relatives to help out or hire fill-in daycare. Most say they support the teachers, but they hope if there is a strike, it won't last long. Melissa Young, Kare11 News, St. Paul.
And not only will the strike affect high school athletics, it will also force the cancellation of all extracurricular activities, including choir and band concerts and school plays.
The last time St. Paul teachers walked off their jobs was 43 years ago. The strike in 1946 was the first ever by school teachers in the United States. It lasted 1 month, and the issues were class size and wages. The strike sign said the same thing then as the ones that will be carried by teachers tomorrow: strike for better schools.
And of course, that strike will create a huge demand for childcare, as officials estimate between 2,000 and 3,000 students will need daycare. There are several alternatives to choose from. The St. Paul Parks Department is opening 16 neighborhood centers from 7:30 in the morning until 10 at night. And for more information on that, you may call 292-7439. Also, St. Paul YMCAs are offering special day camps at the Midway, Skyway, and East Side locations. Those camps cost between $10 and $14 a day. You can get more information by calling the Y. Now, if those programs are not options for you, there is a number you may call for free day referral. Just call Resources for Child Caring, and the number is 641-0332, and they will start taking your calls at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
The teachers union in the Bloomington School District gave parents 48 hours notice today to arrange for child care in the event they strike on Thursday. Bloomington teachers have been without a contract since July 1st, and the past 5 months of negotiations have often been bitter and hostile. New talks are planned for tomorrow morning between the two sides, which are still a fraction of a percent from agreeing to a new deal.
If you don't get the 0.5%, will you strike on Thursday?
If we don't have a tentative agreement that we can bring to the teachers and give them a recommendation to vote on, there will be a strike on Thursday.
Currently, there are more than 700 teachers in the Bloomington School District. If they do strike, the school district plans to bring in replacement teachers.
The word of Jacob Wetterling's abduction 6 weeks ago first spread across the state, then the nation, and now the world. Tonight, Jacob's family received a message of hope and prayer from Pope John Paul III. It was delivered by a messenger from Governor Purvich's office to the Wetterling home in St. Joseph.
His Holiness asks you kindly to assure Jacob's parents in his name that he is deeply united with this period of trial and joins them in their heartfelt prayers for the safe return of their son.
The letter went on to say Pope John Paul is greatly concerned about Jacob's safety and well-being and pleads for his safe return.
Fighting between rebel forces and government troops in the Philippines is over tonight. The two sides have agreed on a ceasefire, and thousands of foreign tourists have been permitted to leave luxury hotels in Manila, where they've been trapped for 4 days. The fighting came in an effort by rebels to push President Corazon Aquino from power. A dozen members of a Brooklyn Center missionary group say they're glad to be back from Manila, where they were among those confined to hotels. Spiritual Life members arrived at Twin Cities International tonight, and while they all agree there were some tense moments, one member spoke of relief when the U.S. troops moved in.
And when we heard the U.S. jets going over and the crack of the U.S. jets, we knew that, you know, we weren't alone.
4 others from Spiritual Life will return from their missionary trip tomorrow night. There's a lot more to come tonight on Kare11 News. If you were outside today, you know it's probably too good to last, and you're right. Paul Douglas will have a frigid forecast.
It's already dropping. And the extra tonight, a look at the new technology used to stop the rash of stolen cars.
In sports, Kent Herbeck tests the waters of the lucrative baseball free agent market.
And what makes this speeding train different from any other in the world?
Mr. Morrison has just left his lights on. Mrs. Morrison is pregnant. Very pregnant. So the Morrisons could be in trouble.
David, it's time.
Big trouble.
Oh, my gosh. Let's not panic.
Fortunately, the Morrisons have the new Champion Switch battery.
The hood.
If it ever goes dead, just switch to the reserve and start your car. Switch back, and the main battery recharges. Get the new Champion Switch, the battery with a spare, at Montgomery Ward.
Stuffing! Mr. Scrooge loves the new stuffing in the 5-piece holiday meal deal from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Stuffing!
With 5 pieces of the Colonel's chicken and 2 buttermilk biscuits, all for only $4.99. Perfect for the 2 of us. Heavens, it's the Cratchits!
Hide the stuffing. We brought the 10-piece holiday meal.
With 4 biscuits.
And more stuffing. Just $9.99. I like the way you think, Cratchit.
Get the 5 or 10-piece holiday meal deal at Kentucky Fried Chicken.
This is the 1990 Chevy Cavalier VL. Profile view. Front view. Rear view. Aerial view. And its most winning view.
Compare Chevy Cavalier to Ford Escort. Cavalier has more passenger room, more engine, and more power, yet It's priceless. Can't see the comparison? Neither could I.
For value, nobody's winning like today's Chevrolet.
So you want brand name quality at the hottest price. This holiday season, Target will do you right with prices like these. Kodak 5-pack of 24 exposure film, just $11.99. And Christmas gift wrap, 2 for just $5. If you want top quality at the hottest price, you got it. And if you're thinking this Christmas at Target, you can't go wrong. You're right.
President Bush today told members of his cabinet that his counterpart in the Soviet Union is very much in control of his own country. The president met with his cabinet for the first time since the weekend superpower summit and briefed them on progress made at the meetings. He told them Mikhail Gorbachev is committed to the peaceful changes taking place in Eastern Europe.
In Datelines, the former hardline leader of East Germany, Erich Honecker, is under house arrest tonight in Berlin. The longtime leader is charged with corruption and abuses of power. Honecker stepped down early last month amid growing unrest in East Germany. In Prague, Czechoslovakia, a new Czech government dominated by non-communists was sworn in today. It's the first non-communist majority in the Czech government in 41 years. The new government was welcomed by students who are demonstrating for more democracy. And in France, a train set a new speed record on rails, 299.7 miles an hour. To set the record, the train, including 2 engines and 4 cars, carried no passengers and used a section of track that's not in use. The old record, set last year in Germany, was 253 miles an hour.
That's how you drive, huh?
Oh, no. But when that guy says all aboard, you'd want to have both feet off the platform on that one.
You'd want to be in. This is a telltale sign here.
Yeah.
Gloves on.
Here we go again.
Yep.
Canada leaking. Another big glob of sub-zero air draining south of the border aimed in our direction. It's going to be a glancing blow. I think the core of this frigid air mass is going to drift off just to our north and east. But Paul and Pat, this should be the coldest air mass of the winter season so far. Last year, our first sub-zero night was December the 10th. It's going to come a little earlier this year. A typical winter, if there is such a thing, we see about 3 sub-zero days in the Twin Cities. And we see about 17 sub-zero nights. I think we'll dip below 0 tomorrow night and again on Thursday night. This is one heavy-duty wintry air mass moving in. High temperatures on Thursday. These are highs, folks, not lows. Highs in the single numbers from the Twin Cities on north. Sub-zero highs for the Arrowhead, the North Shore, and the Boundary Waters Canoe area. These are the lows, possibly as cold as 20 to 25 below over extreme northern Minnesota. You'll have a chance to flick your thermostat into overdrive here later on this week. The computer's hinting that we may try to thaw out a little bit Friday and Saturday as the flow becomes a little more westerly, but then another reinforcing Canadian cold front comes in over the weekend. Looks like a real cold spell starting late tonight, probably going through at least the middle part of next week. After that, who knows? Here's our weather spy photo tonight. Real pretty shot in Edina. Sort of a fluorescent red color to the clouds. An inflamed sky sent in by Dee Paul of Edina, who said it lasted exactly 4 minutes. Yep, she had her camera there just in time. 45 the high today. That's up from a normal of 31 for this state, a low of 25, a trace of snizzle. In the backyard right now, cloudy 32, a northwest wind at 9 miles an hour. Forget the wind chill. We'll have plenty of time to babble about wind chill. The dew point still 25, the humidity 68, and the barometer on the rise. This persistent northwesterly flow in the jet stream continues. That's the way it's been really for 3 years. That's why we're in a drought. Very few oceans, bodies of water in western Canada. That's where our winds are blowing from. The main highway for storms, the jet stream, is going to be shoved way south by this latest intrusion of bitter air. Here's the latest weather map. You can see that Arctic high beginning to come south. 2 below already Winnipeg, 62 in Dallas. A chilly 60 in Miami. A whole slew of record lows set all up and down the eastern seaboard once again today. Here's the core of the cold air. It's going to drift off to our south over the next 48 to 72 hours. Some moderation possible by the weekend, but it is going to be slight. We've had 11.3 inches of snow so far this season. We don't see any significant accumulating snow in sight. That old adage, too cold to snow, some truth to it. As you'll see in the 11 Outlook, it's coming up for you next.
If your family just can't live without music, here's a great way to surprise them this holiday season. This Sony remote-controlled stereo system has a 5-disc carousel-style compact disc changer, dual cassette deck, turntable, 80-watt per channel amplifier, 5-band equalizer, digital tuner, speakers, and a beautiful cabinet. All for just $699 at Best Buy. And the sound will please even the most discerning ears in the family.
At your Dodge dealer, the spirit of original thinking shows in Dodge Caravan, the original front-wheel drive minivan, still the all-time bestseller. Caravan has the highest customer satisfaction ranking of any American minivan. Your Dodge dealer has a good selection in stock, including Grand Caravan, now with a 3.3-liter V6. With package savings on Caravans, you can save up to $1,032.
See a Dodge dealer where the spirit always shows.
At the Lemont semi-annual sale, you can save $75 to $95 on a broad selection of famous label suits. Buy one suit, save up to $95. Buy two, save $190. And any normal alterations are no extra charge. Buy 40 suits and save enough to purchase this fabulous organ. Buy 65 and this handsome dinette set could be yours. 73 suits and you could be jetting off to the tropical island of Hawaii.
Walgreens has been helping bring holiday magic to American families for over 4 generations. Isn't it nice having an easy-to-shop Walgreens drugstore nearby?
Buy a 2-pack of 24-exposure Kodacolor 35mm film from Walgreens. Get a mail-in coupon for free Coca-Cola Classic Diet Coke or Sprite. Details at Walgreens.
Walgreens has a network of friendly computers, so your current prescription records are available across the city or across America. Intercom, a free Walgreens service.
Yes, tomorrow you'll have a chance to swat at goosebumps and plead with your car heater. Where is the Arctic front, you ask? Well, let's check the computer, show you it's a balmy 2 right now in downtown War Road. 46 degrees in Des Moines, cold air beginning to pour south. A little ice and snow mix in North Dakota. Some rain for South Dakota. That storm is going to stay to our south and west. Our forecast tonight, clouds, a few flurries possible, 14 to 19. And then for tomorrow, cold sunshine. That sun won't help much. Temperatures really stunted in the upper teens for highs, a wind chill of 20 below. 2 below tomorrow night, 11 on Thursday, maybe 19 Friday, 25 possible Saturday, and then I think a reinforcing shot of cold air driving temperatures downward again. Maybe single numbers returning by Sunday or Monday. You still have lots of time to make a donation. Actually, you have exactly 2 weeks to make a donation to the Toys for Tots campaign. It is your chance to brighten Christmas morning for a child who might otherwise be faced with nothing under the Christmas tree. Today, the U of Minnesota Men's Athletic Department and the ORDA office did their part to make the holidays happier for about 2,000 kids. That's how many squeeze bottles they dropped off at the Kare11 studios today. And we want to thank the folks at Benson Optical in Minnetonka for their generous donation this afternoon. Employees dropped off about 50 stuffed animals that will find their way under somebody's tree come Christmas morning. And this evening, more than 300 people checked out the Calhoun Beach Club's annual Christmas party. The party raises thousands of dollars each year. That's donated to the Marine Corps Reserves to buy toys for the Toys for Tots program. Thanks to all the companies and, most importantly, the individuals dropping off $2 toys, $5 toys. That's what it's going to take, Paul and Pat, to make it a success once again this year. We're hoping for your support in this.
Yeah, it seems like we're a little bit behind, right?
We're still a little behind. I think people are starting to get on the bandwagon now, and all we ask when you go out and buy the toys, when you push and shove your way through the mall, just buy one extra little toy, drop it off, make you feel a little better, and it'll make a little kid's eyes a little wider come Christmas morning, I think.
Alrighty. Thanks very much.
Thanks,
you
Paul.
bet. Just ahead, what police are doing to stop car thieves.
In the extra tonight, we're going to show you efforts underway to stem the skyrocketing auto theft rate.
When 2 of LA's top rival cops...
You know me, huh?
Yeah, I hear you're the second best cop in LA.
It's funny, I hear the same thing about you.
Go gunning for trouble. They drive each other crazy. Tango and Cash. Did you sleep with my sister?
I was so drunk, I don't remember, okay?
Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell are Tango and Cash. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 22nd at a theater near you.
Menards and Stanley help you do things right at Menards Holiday Home Sale. Give the gift of security and convenience. Stanley garage door openers. Choose a half-horsepower opener that's loaded with features, just $114. Or choose Stanley's Best, the half-horsepower light maker. It turns house lights on from your transmitter, just $159. You're doing it right with Menards and Stanley.
Menards sends best wishes with their holiday home sale. Fa la 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 TJ Maxx.
Over 10,000 new Christmas gift ideas arrive at TJ Maxx every week, so it's never the same place twice.
No, it's never ever the same place twice.
Yesterday,
This week, this Christmas Eve night,
get the
Max for the minimum price.
and it's
Never, ever the same.
Never.
Place twice. La 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 TJ Maxx.
In tonight's Extra, the final part of our series on auto theft.
For the past couple of nights, we have told you about the skyrocketing auto theft rate in Minnesota.
Tonight, Kare11's Bernie Graves reports on efforts underway to curb the rapid rise of car thefts.
Nearly 4 out of 5 cars stolen in Minneapolis alone, according to police, are made by General Motors. Authorities say it's no accident GM cars are targets of thieves. Simply put, police say these cars are easy to steal. GM steering columns, according to police, can easily be what they call Chicago punched. That's where the steering columns pried open and the ignition can be bypassed within seconds and the car started and stolen. At this South Minneapolis garage, they're selling a device that makes it next to impossible to get at the car's steering column.
It's the only thing on the market that'll stop the Chicago punch. It's something, the beauty of it is that you never have to arm it. It's there all the time. This is the piece that they're breaking away to gain access to the linkage rods. This is a real lightweight pot aluminum, which is very easily broken, as you can see.
While other automakers have changed their steering columns, police say GM is stuck with theirs. Auto theft investigators say GM has done so for one simple reason: profit.
They make the profit on when they sell you the car, and then a year to 18 months later when you get it stolen, they get a little more from you again. You talk to them and they're very blasé, give a damn attitude.
We certainly oppose the view that we don't care about it because we're greedy, because we find from our customers that they too are concerned about auto theft. They complain about their cars being stolen and that they threaten not to buy GM cars again. So we are sensitive to that, and we are taking steps to improve theft deterrent systems on our vehicles.
We realized that we made a mistake in continuing certain designs, but they were popular designs, and they were continued.
GM says they've modified the ignition and steering column, but for several years failed to stay ahead of the thieves. But now they believe they've come up with a system that's a step ahead of the thieves. It's a coded key, and only a key with the right code will start the car.
It has virtually eliminated the so-called smash and grab thefts of these cars, although the thieves can, of course, still haul or tow them away.
The new system has been put on some of the sporty models that were popular targets of the thieves. The older models are still vulnerable, and people like Will Shander making money selling and installing the column collars.
With this case-hardened steel cover, it slides over. We replace your ignition area. The area right here, the vulnerable area, also gets covered by this two-piece application, which, as you can see now, covers this area.
While an increasing number of cars are being outfitted with these, relatively few cars have them. And cars are being stolen at a record clip.
They broke the passenger window here, and then they must have taken a screwdriver, smashed out the ignition.
Maybe if they had stricter laws on stolen vehicles, people wouldn't be doing it.
It used to be you'd have to be caught and convicted of stealing this car here, this one here, this car, and that one over there. 5 or 6 of them before you'd be sent to prison. Earlier this year, the legislature changed that from 3 or 4 convictions, and police welcomed the change. But police concede catching auto thieves can be difficult. They say some thieves steal dozens, in other cases hundreds of cars before they're ever caught and convicted once. For that reason, police say winning 3 to 4 convictions is still too many before sending someone off to prison. And repeat car thieves like Kevin concede existing laws aren't much of a deterrent. And when he's free, it wouldn't take much to go bad again.
It's going to be real tempting. I mean, it all depends on how bad I need the money.
And legislators concede there's not a lot to scare off auto thieves. State Senator Bob Schmitz earlier this year had his car stolen.
We have very little tools, as I see it right now, to really stop this acceleration of auto thefts.
While Schmitz would like to see stiffer punishment, with limited prison space, he says that's just not going to happen. So police say people have to become more involved.
Your new car. Don't let it end up like this. You can help stop car theft in your area. Get involved and find out how.
Here in Michigan, where the auto theft rate used to be the highest in the country, they've been attacking the problem from several fronts, from the streets to the courtrooms, and they've been having some success. Unlike in Minnesota, where the auto theft rate has been skyrocketing the past few years, here in Michigan, it's been on the decline.
It's time to turn up the heat on auto theft.
In Michigan, the heat has been turned up with stiffer penalties and coordinated efforts by law enforcement. But in Minnesota, police say as long as auto theft here is treated as a second-rate crime, don't look for the theft rate to go down. Bernie Grace, Kare11 News, Detroit.
During next year's legislative session, lobbyists for law enforcement officials will push for a $1 surtax on all insurance premiums.
And that money would be used to pay for efforts aimed at curbing auto theft.
We'll be right back.
They predicted a gloomy year for everyone. But they didn't count on Mazda, with cars and trucks engineered to feel just right. Now Mazda is racing toward an all-time sales record, with record-setting deals that can save you up to $1,000 now. The Mazda, race to the record. At your Twin Cities Mazda dealer now.
Out of pantyhose, Snyder's has a department full of the most popular brand-name hosiery.
Oh, Mimi, I love you. I want you. I must...
Out of perfume, Snyder's has 173 different fragrances for men and women.
These days, everyone's going back to the future, where people are looking at the world through very different glasses. Now bring part of Back to the Future back with you. Drop by any Pizza Hut restaurant and get a pair of futuristic solar shades, inspired by the movie Back to the Future Part 2. Only $1.99 with any Pizza Hut pizza. Collect a different pair each week while supplies last. Solar shades from Pizza Hut. They're going like there's no tomorrow.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
Everywhere you look these days, there's another place promising outrageous deals on brake jobs. He looked into them, but he came to Midas. And he's not alone. A million others trust Midas too, for good reason. Because nobody beats Midas. Our brake shoes and pads are guaranteed for as long as you own your car. They're installed by trained brake technicians, and that's just part of our $59 brake special. Nobody beats Midas. Nobody.
Tom Ryther is here now with sports down in Nashville. Some big dealing going on. I imagine Ken Herbeck's sitting in bed right now if he's falling. $1 million? $2 million?
You know, I have a feeling he's probably really in a lot of conflict.
Oh.
Yeah, about whether to stay, whether to go.
Yeah.
I mean,
No doubt about it.
He's found out some big offers are coming.
As a matter of fact, that's exactly right. We have learned tonight that 2 Major League Baseball teams have offered the Twins' Ken Herbeck 5-year deals believed to be worth at least $13 million. The Boston Red Sox were the front runners, but no longer in light of these new offers. The Red Sox are also after relief pitcher Jeff Reardon. The Twins lost in the bidding today for A's second baseman Tony Phillips. He signed with Detroit today. But as far as Ken Herbeck, his well-known swing could be seen elsewhere next year if the Twins fail to match the length and the money of the latest 2 offers. I talked with Herbie's agent Ron Simon tonight. He says he'll meet with the Twins tomorrow. Preliminary offers are not even close. It appears the Twins may have to come up with a 5-year guaranteed deal. And here is what Boston is saying.
We certainly dealt in good faith with him. We told him from the beginning we just didn't want to get in a situation where we're raising the money for the Twins or someone else. We make a good offer. We're sincere about signing him. We hope you feel the same way about us. He told us that Herbeck had a great interest in coming to Boston. Now, whether they're using our offer, I would like to hope and feel that they don't.
Well, already Boston's offer is kind of down the road. The Cleveland Indians say they have agreed on a list of players with the San Diego Padres completing the trade for outfielder Joe Carter. There is one hitch. Now the Padres have to reach a contract agreement with Carter before this becomes a done deal. All right, let's go to some NBA basketball. The Timberwolves actually favored tonight against New Jersey at the Dome. As we check out some highlights, it was easy going for the Wolves in the first half. Here, Todd Murphy lays the ball in. Good passing by Corbin and Pooh Richardson. The Wolves led by 14 at the half. The Wolves led by 17 when the Nets started to come back. New Jersey tied the game on a 3-point play by Roy Hinson. Got that foul right there. 19 seconds left. New Jersey had all kinds of shots in there to tie it. They were down by 2. They couldn't get it to go. And the Wolves are on a 2-game winning streak. Let's go to the scoreboard now. They win at 92-90. New York over Philadelphia. Boston defeated Charlotte. McHale with 20 points. Portland a winner tonight. Utah over Cleveland by 4. Chicago and Michael Jordan with 35 over Denver. And Dallas over Golden State. College basketball tonight. The Illini winning over Florida. Indiana a win tonight. Northwestern no trouble with Tulane. And Arkansas defeating Mississippi. Well, Steve Johnson was at the Timberwolves light workout today, checking things out since he has decided to join the team, ending his 2-month holdout. Coach Bill Musselman is worried about Johnson's conditioning and late start in learning the plays. Here is what Steve Johnson has to say about all that.
You can run up and down the court and ride the bike all you want, but until you get a chance to bang against somebody and start working on your moves and things, it's going to be tough for a few days.
From the NHL tonight, the Pittsburgh Penguins fired general manager Tony Esposito and coach Gene Ubriaco, replaced them with former Rangers general manager Craig Patrick. Let's check out some action tonight from the NHL. In Long Island, the Islanders taking on the Red Hot Sabres. First period, the Isles' Brad Hauer gets this wrist shot to fly. It gets past the goaltender. It was all Islanders they would need tonight as they win it by a score of 3-0. Let's check the scoreboard now. There's that score. We have Boston and Quebec. They're in a tie. Washington over Philadelphia. St. Louis and Detroit, they tied. And Montreal will be here tomorrow night to play the North Stars. Okay, let's go to our high school scoreboard now. Prep hockey, Burnsville over John Marshall. We have Apple Valley a winner, Anoka over Minnetonka, Osseo defeating Coon Rapids, White Bear Lake over Bloomington Jefferson, second straight loss for the defending state champs, and Washburn over Simley. Boys basketball, we have St. Louis Park a close win, Hopkins a winner, Edison defeating Johnson, Blaine over Elk River. Girls basketball tonight, Elk River a 5-point winner. We have White Bear Lake over Kennedy, Bloomington Jefferson losing to Hill Murray by a point, and Minneapolis Roosevelt 71 and Southwest 40 points. And we'll be watching that Herbeck story.
All right, Tommy, thanks. Still to come, an adventure to remember for a group of Twin Cities kids.
Along with this reminder of where you can donate to the Toys for Tots campaign.
Here's this week's Kare11 News Express run. Minneapolis Route 44A from West Bloomington to downtown Minneapolis. Leaves Friendship Village at 6:35 a.m., 84th and France at 6:49, arrives at 7th Street and 2nd Avenue South at 7:22. Join Kare11 in the MTC for a free ride on the Kare11 News Express.
It happens so fast, it's almost over before it starts. Dayton's 13-hour sale. Starts Wednesday, ends Wednesday. Open till 11 p.m.
If you're using newspapers to hit the Twin Cities market, you'll miss the mark more than half of the time. Television, on the other hand, always makes an impact. TV advertising, twice the audience of newspaper, twice the impact.
%70 of adult tooth loss is caused by gum disease. Strong, healthy gums are what keep your teeth where they belong. So be sure to brush, floss, and use the Waterpick dental system. It cleans below the gum line, where brushing and flossing can't, to help protect and strengthen your gums. Get a hold of a Waterpick dental system and hang on to your teeth.
Before we go tonight, 44 special youngsters from the U of M hospitals couldn't wait until December 25th for Santa to come to them. Today, they went to him. As part of an annual imaginary trip to the North Pole, the kids boarded a plane at Twin Cities International bound for Santa's doorstep. Patience was in order, but the wait for their white-haired perennial friend was well worth it.
Have you been having fun? Oh, boy, what a great bunch of kids! Come on!
Santa led the kids to an airport terminal turned North Pole where friendly elves and loads of presents awaited their arrival. The adventure for these cancer children was made possible by Silverliners, a group of former flight attendants.
What a nice
That really is. And they're doing that all around the country.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that will do it for us tonight. Thanks for joining us. We do appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
Life in the 1980s, a decade of excess, a time when consumer consumption became an art form, and Gordon Gekko of Wall Street fame hit the proverbial nail on the head.
Greed is good. Greed is right. Greed works.
Toys were booming as 80s kids watched robots transform, went gaga over pound puppies, and paid a visit to the Cabbage Patch. But by the end of the decade, all eyes were on Nintendo, and not just the kids' eyes. Grown-ups don't like to share, so they found their own toys, turning leisure time into a trivial pursuit. Compact discs made records obsolete as we bought players by the hundreds of millions. CDs and PCs led the gadget craze, but they weren't alone. VCR sales kicked into fast forward. 60% of us now own them. And Watchmans and Walkmans proved you don't have to leave home without it. Still, experts say we haven't seen anything yet.
I think you're going to see a lot more toys. Oh, so many more toys. You know, cars that last 20 years, made with plastic bodies and ceramic engines, VCRs that you slip into your shirt pocket, computers that literally go under your hairline.
All of that fits our fast-paced lifestyle, and life will only get busier in the years to come. Speed is now everything as we whip it, juice it, cash it, post it, nuke it, and fax it.
We can't live without our fax.
In the 80s, baby boomers went from yippies to yuppies, and even dinks. So what's ahead for the 90s? Well, some experts say we can all expect to become grumpies, grown-up, mature parents. The baby boomlet is on as the boom generation repeats itself. Statistically, the birth rate didn't go up dramatically, but having babies became fashionable again. It also became more complicated as surrogates added legal tangles, while science changed how we're created.
And add the sperm directly to the dish.
While some postponed motherhood until they were older, others are part of the skyrocketing teen pregnancy statistics. Both developments have dramatic consequences for future generations.
We're all involved in a big experiment, and we don't know what the outcome's going to be. We don't know what the outcomes long-term are of the whole daycare phenomenon. We don't know what the outcome of that is.
The daycare trend started in the 70s. Now, 10 years later, 2/3 of mothers are working, and most of their children are in some kind of daycare. That has also changed family dynamics.
It didn't start necessarily in the 80s, but particularly came to fruition in the 80s as the whole redefinition of roles.
First floor, second floor.
The old notion of dad being the breadwinner and mom raising the kids is outdated, as most everyone has had to take on new roles.
I didn't get my turn yet.
Oh, well, there's a huge threat.
The 80s were full of conflicting emotions when heroes ranged from E.T. to Rambo to a hero in a half shell.
Believe me, this isn't my idea.
A time when the Huxtables were the perfect TV family, but other television was trash. We were flash dancing, break dancing, dirty dancing, ghost busting, and all waiting for our turn at the wheel.
Is there a J?
We like new things, but we didn't want to abandon the old completely. Coke learned that the hard way.
We're bringing it back.
We went to the movies in record numbers and apparently didn't mind seeing the same story. How else can you explain 2 visits from Crocodile Dundee?
2 beers, all right? One for me, one for me, mate.
3 adventures with Indiana Jones, 5 classes at the police academy, and 7 Friday the 13th. We also took a renewed interest in ourselves. And the 90s may become the decade of the individual.
Front, back, front, center, and yeah!
Through the 80s, exercise became the thing to do, not only to be healthy, but also to be trendy. Folks became runners, bikers, and aeroboholics. They bought the latest exercise equipment and discovered no pain, no gain is not just a catchy phrase. We even changed our eating habits.
Hey, where's the beef?
Where? Temporarily gone while everyone had their cholesterol checked. If you are what you eat, folks must be turning green as salad bars multiplied like rabbits, and the local explosion in Vietnamese restaurants helped Minnesotans expand their culinary horizons, opening the way for other ethnic tastes like Southwest cooking. But convenience is still the bottom line, and will become even more so in the 90s. Takeouts will flourish, as will frozen foods, microwave foods, and as life gets busier, fast food will only get bigger. Despite all this rush, many will continue to try reducing stress.
Don't worry, be happy.